There are some random subjects I'd like to speak about today, which are not so random. One of the things I'd like to discuss is that meditation is not a discipline. Meditation is self arising, and meditation should not be practiced if one is not in the right state of mind. It is not a de stressing exercise, it is a connecting of the soul with the super soul. It's not something to calm down and make the appearance of life easier. We only sit in meditation when we know that meditation is knocking at the door. This is one thing. The other thing that I wanted to speak about is that for the best of us, our awareness is limited only to give us a running commentary on our mental states. Like, and mostly in hindsight, this is also another thing. Self awareness cannot be mistaken as self examination. If it is in hindsight that we are realizing our response to life or experience, it is most likely self examination. Self awareness is when the observer in me is switched on and is able to observe the experience coming at me, the reaction that it has invited, and the observer is watching these two fields of interactivity from a third vantage, which means that though the observer cannot change the nature of experience coming at me, it can alter my response, which is going toward the nature of experience. That is real awareness. Awareness is not to be aware of our conditionings and habits and all of that. It is really an activated observer. Now, the third thing that I would like to speak about is when we realize a fault in the system, which means a deep rooted conditioned response to life and experience that we are carrying within us, and constantly designing a response which is predictable and characteristic, built into the personality that I may have. We really have to ask ourselves, is this serving my spiritual needs, or have I just erected a devil or a demonic aspect within myself which is sabotaging my interaction with experience, which then is creating a stir in my energy field, and that is interfering with my sanctum, sanctimonious, with my spiritual Uberman. This is something we need to really examine. What is that flaw within me that has become so ingrained in my personality that has got deeply ensnared in the teeth of the matrix, and I'm wounded and bleeding away my vital energy into the matrix, into the gluttonous mouth of the matrix, into the big belly of the matrix. And on this conditioned hamster's wheel, I run on my program in the most predictable and pathetic way. This needs to be examined. Our deepest conditioning is mostly visible as a first response to experience or any experience which may oppose our desire. And that first response needs to be seen for what it is. This is the Achilles' heel, which needs to be nabbed, grabbed, and culled. If awareness is passive, it doesn't help. Awareness has to be radical and absolutely discompassionate. in its observatory result of destroying that which is destroying me from an internal perspective. Most of us try to destroy that which is destroying me from an external perspective. Turn the war within. That's the real battleground. That is the battleground which is causing the battle on the external in the first place. Which doesn't mean, of course, that fellow zombies out there are not keen to get the jugular of a person who is non-compliant. But one has to also see that one doesn't turn zombie on himself. One has to be very clear in the truth of his own reality before embarking on the truth of the material plane, which has many layers of reality. More difficult to peel off. So really, one has to see his own conditioning and his first response, because that is what holds the key to unraveling the series of events and experiences which are not important in a chronological order to be read and reread, but unravel with the intention to become threadbare of it. We need to read ourselves correctly, and we need to apply antidotes to our own inner toxicity before we become medicine to the reality out there.